Good morning, good morning. It's been a rainy week, and today was the first day, this is Monday, that the rain has subsided. So, enjoying my ride to work. Today I'm gonna tell kind of a controversial story. Not too controversial, but some people who are very sentimental may be a little upset about my feelings about this story. So let's get started. Back when I was in high school, I was a junior, 11th grade, and I took classes that were in a series. You know, you could take class 1, 2, 3, or 4, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. And I think I was at level 3. And it was the end of the year, and the classrooms that the class that I was in, the classroom itself was a mobile building, portable building that had 2 adjoining rooms and a door that adjoined the 2 rooms. So I was in the level 3 class, and the level 4 class for the seniors was adjacent to my room. And it was the end of the year, so there was not much going on. The class I took, I had already given the final exam, and I don't even remember if we had a final exam. I just remembered there wasn't anything going on that day. It was like the last week of school, so most people know that the last week of school is just a waste of time and a revenue generator for school systems, because if there are students in school, they're making money, right? So I work at a grocery store as a bag boy, and I worked late the night before, so I was pretty tired. So it was a good thing that there wasn't anything going on. I didn't have to study for anything, so I was pretty tired. And it was towards the end of class. It was about, I don't know, 20 minutes before the bell rang for the next class. So I just laid my head down on my desk, and it was one of those chairs with the like a little desk top in front of you and a little basket underneath the chair to put your other books. And I laid my head down and started to drift off sleeping, and I hear the door to the adjoining room open. And there are people talking, because obviously that other class didn't have much going on either. And I heard the voice of one of these guys that I knew of, but we weren't friends and we weren't enemies either. I seen him around, he seen me around. We had some people who were in the same circle of friends, but you know, we were just kind of neutral individuals. We didn't really interact. I didn't bother him, he didn't bother me. So let's call him Rudy. But I knew of Rudy in that he was kind of an arrogant SOB. He liked to pick on people, you know, stick his chest out. I want to describe him as one of those high school football jock type guys you see in the movies. You know, very bullyish. But like I said, he never bothered me, and I never bothered to interact with him. So anyway, I got my head down on the desk, and I hear him talking, no big deal. I'm drifting in and out of sleep, and all of a sudden I feel like a slap on the back of my neck. So I'm thinking, what the heck? Raise my head, I see Rudy standing to the right of me. I see somebody standing to the right of me. I look up, I pop my head up, and I look to the right, and I look up, and it's Rudy. And he's just kind of snickering. And I'm like, yeah, I just gave him that weird, confused look, and what the heck? And I didn't, you know, being that I was kind of sleepy, I didn't know what the heck was going on. So I'm like, well, maybe I was just dreaming. So I shrugged, put my head back down, you know, put my arms back on the desk, put my head back down, try to go back to sleep. And about 3 or 4 seconds later, I felt like a brick had fallen on my neck. It hurt real bad. It hurt so bad, like even the back of my eyes were kind of throbbing. And it you know, being mostly awake, I was pissed. I stood up, and I didn't know if somebody else had pulled this prank or if Rudy was still at it. As I popped up, I stood up, the desk chair thing I was in flipped down. I looked around to see if there was anybody else who might have done it, and you know, him and Rudy might have been in cahoots, and one guy did one thing, another guy did another thing, but nope, it was just Rudy. He was the only one within, say, 5 feet of me. Again, this happened in about 2 seconds. I'm just kind of running through my memory. So I remember balling up a fist in my right hand, and he's standing kind of catty corner to the right, front right of me. Balled up, I turned to my right, balled up my right fist, picked it up, and just gave the hardest hook punch I could give. I remember smacking him in the face on his left eye. He was wearing sunglasses. The sunglasses tumbled slowly, it was like slow motion, across the room, hit the wall, fell on the floor. And since I was stuck in my desk, I knew that he was probably going to try to hit me back. So I raised my left hand up to guard, and I was getting ready to punch him again. And 2 guys in my class had by that time gotten up, got behind him, and like restrained him and pulled him back. So the office for my teacher, again, this was the end of the year, so the teacher just kind of hung out in his office and let us do whatever. And so the teacher pops out of his office, looks, sees me standing there with the desk around my knees, and sees 2 guys holding back Rudy. And he goes, he calls my name, "You, sit down, shut up." So I pick up my desk, I sit back down on my desk, and he looks at Rudy and says, "Rudy, go back in the other room and keep your ass in there and don't come back." And that was it. That was the end of the story. I mean, nobody got in trouble that I knew of. I did get sent to the principal's office. The teacher didn't talk to me anymore about, you know, you should have, you know, handled it differently, nothing. Because he knew that Rudy was the asshole. He knew Rudy was the one who probably started something. I had always been low-key. You know, of course, I wasn't the smartest tool in the shed or the most productive student, but you know, I was above average. But he knew I wasn't the one who started anything. So the next day, I'm at school, we're walking down the hall, and I see Rudy. He's got his head down, he's got a hoodie on, and he's got a different pair of sunglasses because apparently I broke his other sunglasses. And you could see the black eye on his left eye. He didn't say a word to me. Rest of the week, rest of the year, never never looked at me, never tried to, didn't try to intimidate me or retaliate or nothing. None of his friends said anything to me. Again, his friends, some of his friends were my friends. They never say anything. We just kind of like whoop, slipped it under the rug, right? Well, fast forward about 20 years later, and you know, we're on Facebook, and some of my high school friends are on Facebook, and I'm just scrolling through like everybody does, and I see a post about Rudy, and you know, it's like, in loving memory of Rudy. I'm like, what the heck? How did he die? And apparently he had joined the army and was in Iraq, and he was, I think, killed in action in Iraq. It just said he had passed away. It didn't say how, didn't say where, you know, where exactly or what he was doing. It just says, you know, we miss you and this and that. And some of my high school friends are like, oh, you know, it's so sad, we're gonna miss you. It's like, yeah, right, bullshit. You didn't know crap about this guy until it came out that they died. And you know, being a veteran myself, I have a lot of respect for people who sacrifice their lives in the military and combat, whether it be in combat or they passed away for whatever reason while they're in the military. You know, it's a hard job. It's even if you're not a combat veteran, you you served your country. You worked hard. I know me, on my deployments, minimum we worked 12-hour days, 7 days a week. There were no weekends. Maybe on a weekend you didn't work as hard, but you still worked. You were still on duty for 12 hours minimum. And stateside, you know, you worked until whatever you had to do was done, then you could go home. So anyway, yeah, when I heard that Rudy died, I guess in combat, I was like, eh. I wasn't sad. I wasn't, oh, poor Rudy. You know, if anything, I felt sorry for people who had to serve with him that he decided to pick on. Now, I don't know if maybe what I did to him after he decided to be a jerk changed his life and changed his mentality and attitude. I don't know. That could possibly be, and he became a good person. But as the saying goes, was it, past performance is indicative of future performance. So if he was a jerk in high school, chances are he was a jerk growing up as an adult. But you know, my gut feeling says, if he liked you, he was cool. He was, you know, was a good guy. He, you know, he would go out of his way to help you out and do things. But if he decided that, nah, you're a jerk, you know, you're my target, look out. He's gonna be insufferable. And people are just like that. So anyway, Rudy, I hope you changed. I hope you became a better person, but and I hope that, you know, whatever happened to you brought you to a better place, but I don't have much hope. I'm not confident that happened, you know. So there you go. That's a story of the bully that I smacked in high school. Later.